the website, of the coronavirus across the globe that is surely low because the People's Republic of China is lying to us. There are at least 126,859 fatalities. Again, that is low because the People's Republic of China is lying to us. In the United States, there are 601,472 diagnosed cases, and 24,429 people have died. Every day the toll creeps up, but it is impossible not to miss. It is impossible to miss the green shoots out there. Many, many green shoots. And I'm not just referring to the enormous market rally of yesterday, though perhaps I can go and do that right now. Just do that early. I always give a market report from yesterday in the first hour, thanks to Birch Gold Group. Over 10 million unemployment claims in March, and, the numbers are going to get higher in April. When the economy kicks back in the back of your mind, some people are fearing about hyperinflation. It's the time to diversify. Put some of your portfolio into gold. The people to do that with, they're Birch Gold Group. Text my name, Hugh, H-U-G-H, to 474747. They'll tell you how to take a portion of your IRA or your 401k and roll it over into a physical metals backed IRA or 401k. Gold this morning is at 1,741. When I began telling you about Birch Gold, it was in the 1400s because, of course, in times of international crisis, gold goes up. And so it's a good day to send Hugh, H-U-G-H, to 474747 via text or to go to hughgold.com. Yesterday, what a day on the markets. The Dow went up 558 points, or 2.39%. The NASDAQ soared 323 points, up 3.95%. The S&P went up 84 points. That's the broad market. I always look at Amazon. I own it, and I always disclose that, but I look at it as the proxy for the tech sector. It went up $114 yesterday, another 5% on top of the 6% the day before, and I expect it's just going to keep rising like a rocket. I don't believe that's the investor in me wishful thinking. I just think that this is the disintermediation in accelerated time of old purchasing consuming habits that will not be put back into place even after the plague is put in its box. I think people have shifted to the new economy and they're never going back, and they've bought their Amazon Prime membership. They don't report their earnings and their membership stuff and all that stuff for another week or so, but I think Amazon's kind of a reserve currency. Much like gold, if you want some growth in your portfolio, you're buying Amazon and Netflix and maybe FANG. I don't know generally of how Facebook and Google have done. I don't follow them the same way, but I do know that gold and Amazon have been, gold. My name, Hugh, H-U-G-H, to 474747. Now, the good news of the morning is that in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu and Benny Gantz appear to be on the verge of an agreement that will bring stability to that country's politics for the very first time in a very long time, at the same time that German politics are crashing and burning. There's a lockdown battleground between the would-be successors to Angela Merkel. My view of this is colored by my friendship with Rick Grinnell, the ambassador to Germany, who's the acting DNI, Director of National Intelligence. And so I know who he thinks has talent and who he doesn't think has talent, but I'm not going to share that with you. That's off the record. I'm just watching it very closely. We need Germany to be under competent management. Also want to point out the Washington Post on the landing page has my latest column. I've been writing a lot because what else do I do? I mean, I do the show, I do my show prep, I prepare for. I'm going to talk to Madeleine Albright today. I read the book for whatever's coming up on the show. Then I go for at least an hour to a 2-hour walk or run. And then I eat my peanut butter and bagel and watch the Trump show, which was very good yesterday. I mean, it was just great to see the Cleveland Clinic there leading America's medical community forward, as befits the Cleveland Clinic. And generally speaking, everybody is out pulling an oar on the same direction except the White House press corps and that doofus in the back row. I don't know. Do we have that doofus? where the president says, there's always
Yes,
one.
we have that doofus. Do you know who that doofus is?
Who is that doofus?
That is the guy that picked a fight with Seb Gorka a few years ago when Seb Gorka worked for.
He is such a doofus. I mean,
he does some work for CNN, and he's also the.
Oh, here we go.
He's a Playboy magazine correspondent.
Brian Karam, right?
Brian Karam.
I like this. Cut number 11. This is amusing. Cut number 11.
Yeah, thank you. Today, 600,000 cases, 25,000 deaths. I know you want to blame the WHO, but I've spoken to hundreds of people across the country in the last few weeks who say they still can't get tested, and that they aren't social distancing because
so
they
the governors,
So
excuse me. I know your question. You ready? The governors are supposed to do testing. It's up to the governors. Go ahead. Please.
Mr. President,
go ahead, please.
Just get back.
Quiet.
If we could just get back to May 1. Mr. President,
they are following your lead, that they are not social distancing.
The governors are doing the testing. It's now not up, and it hasn't been up to the federal government. Go ahead.
Mr. President, I have a quick follow on the WHO, but if May 1...
I told them when they put this guy here, it's nothing but trouble. He's a showboat. If you keep talking, I'll leave, and you can have it out with the rest of these people. If you're going to leave, and you can have it out with them.
It's a simple question.
Just a loudmouth. Go ahead.
Just a loudmouth. And you know what? Did you see anybody in the White House press corps rise to his defense? Hans, who got the next question, couldn't wait for the guy to shut up. And when everybody says you're drunk, you'd better sit down. And everybody in the White House press corps knows that this guy is just a knucklehead. So he says, I know you want to blame this on the WHO. So he is asserting the ability to read the president's mind. He's not blaming the WHO. He's saying the WHO failed in its job to accurately penetrate and report the curtain of disinformation put down by the PRC on this deadly virus which is plaguing the world. That's why we're withdrawing funding the WHO, and it's a good thing to do. They botched this completely mid-January. Don't worry, there's no human-to-human transmission. Not to worry. Okay, it doesn't take any persuasion, but this guy, I know you want to blame the WHO, and then the second part of his question, which the president just wasn't even hearing him, but we were listening to him, he's trying to assert that people in America aren't social distancing because of Trump, not social distancing. This is, why do some people have White House press passes? I have to call up and find out if I should go down there and sit there so that someone would ask, a good question or two. Steve Holland does. My hat is off. I think John Roberts does a fine job. John Carl does a good job. The Hans did a fine job yesterday. Kirsten Welker does a fine job. Normally, a good question is short. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to shout. You ought to be able to put it into very concise terms. What is the most effective intervention? What is the leading cause of death of comorbidities combined? I mean, there's things out there. I know you won't name which states are going to open soon, but do you know when the soonest of them will open? All right, so there are very lots of interesting questions. Nevertheless, you cannot help but be cheered. You cannot help but be encouraged by what is going on. And but we do have Big Brother calling around. Here's the LA Department of Health voicemail calling one of our friends, cut number 15.
I am calling from Los Angeles County Department of Public Health, Environmental Health. I'm calling about your classification of being an essential business or not being an essential business, and the responsibilities that are attached to each of those designations. Please call me. This is a matter of some urgency. If you do not call me, I will have to send law enforcement to your facility.
All right, so there you have it. This is the problem. Don't give her a phone number. This is the problem with the government. If an essential business is running and it's safe, leave them alone. See, the government never fails to screw up even a voluntary compliance and perfect social distancing. But that's the danger. That's what people are worried about. We'll report it all when we come back, America. Stay tuned to This Morning's Hugh Hewitt Show.